All right, guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of Davis Drives. This video right here may be the one that takes us over 100,000 subscribers. We're very excited for that, and we could not do it with you guys, without you guys and girls and children and everybody that watches our channel. So we appreciate everybody's support, young or old, male or female. It takes every one of you, and we really, really do appreciate it. I was not ready to do this video, but Christian said, let's get it knocked out. We are short on staff today, and we're short on time today. It's already been a short week, and it's been a busy week. We've had a lot of sales, a lot of stuff moving around, a lot of stuff shipping out. But we did receive 2 more beautiful square bodies, and I'm going to go over both of them, and then I'll do a detailed video about each one separately. And if we had time, we were going to pull a few of our other square bodies in here to gather them all up, but Daniel and Brian are finishing some touches on a couple. And these are very raw coming in, so I'm going to tell you that right now, guys. I've walked around this one pretty closely. I got a bunch of pictures of this one before I bought it, so I'm pretty familiar with that one by pictures. But, you know, the naked eye is a different story. Everybody knows you can take pictures nowadays, and you can edit them and crop them and do all kinds of different stuff. So it's really hard when you're seeing something in person that you may not have ever even seen a real photo of. But I believe this one is an 85. It is a crew cab 3+3 1-ton truck. It has had a lot of nice detail work. I'll start with the goods, and of course you guys know I'm gonna roll into the bads. It's kind of crazy. Some customers are almost scared for us to buy or trade their trucks now because they're afraid we're gonna ridicule them online because we're so picky. And it's not like that, guys. We take everything with a grain of salt. The purple truck right there, that was to that guy, it was the most beautiful truck in the world and a show truck. And you know what? 25 years ago, it was a show truck. But today it's super dated. It needs a lot of bushings and a lot of adjustments and a lot of tweaking. And that one's not online yet because we haven't done those things. Can I sell it to you just like he would have or anybody else would have? Sure. But, you know, I would rather it be as much of a finished product as possible. That's why that one's not yet online. 3+3, big block, sniper fuel injected. I know a lot of you guys are not going to like the wheels and tires. If you like the boggers better, they can be on there. If you want a set of the new DOR produced custom wheels, they could be on there. 35 boggers, whatever you like. This one's sitting on probably 10 inches of lift. I'll check that for sure when it goes through the shop. Really cool alloy wheels, Dana 60 front axle, corporate 14-bolt rear, and currently 38 1550 tires. The customer went with High Country. It's got a High Country sticker on the back, High Country badge. You know, I kind of dig it. At first I was like, first thing we're ripping off, we're going to put the K30 emblems on it. It kind of goes with the truck, you know. It's pretty neat. The paint finish on this truck is done very well. It could use a wet sand, it could use a buff. Spray and bed liner. Again, the cool High Country sticker on the back window with the colors. I think it blends really well. Disc brake conversion in the back. Yukon diff cover in the back. And hopefully you guys too, drop a comment if you're happy with the way the audio is now. I'm using this thing a little differently. Custom dual exhaust, Fox shocks, rear replacement springs. But one of the coolest things about this truck, and it even impressed Christian, which was an upholstery guy at one time, is the interior. It's done with, I guess you're going to call it a plaid, kind of old school setup. Even the headliner's done. And there's some finishing trim touches on the interior. The stereo needs to be finished. The dash fitment's a little off. We've got another dash bezel in there to go on it. And of course we need to clean up a bunch of the screws and fittings and other things. Originally, obviously, the truck had some sort of maroon colored interior. We can dye these, probably will dye these black to match a little better. Do something cool, Bluetooth with the stereo. It needs a door handle, crank knob, you know, some other things which are normal. But the crazy thing with this truck, it needs a little adjustment on the doors too. You can see they're a little draggy and you got to slam them. So we're going to adjust that out too. This truck very recently won Best of Show at a pretty large show. So with the doors closed and you're looking at the outside, I can see that. One other thing, does not have a track bar system, does not have crossover steering. Funny enough, Christian was so excited to get in this truck, he jumped in the first thing this morning. He said, boss, I don't think that truck's got power steering. I said, nothing wrong with the power steering. He said, I can barely turn it. And he was stuttering. I was like, it's normal. So he's been with me just long enough to be spoiled by every single square body that's big with wide tires that he's got in, has had crossover steering and track bar system. And he's moved around the blue one that's similar to that a bunch of times. And you can go, no problem. Does not have the upgrade. So fine, it's the way a normal square body drives. There's nothing wrong with it per perception until you've had the good stuff. And then it's completely wrong. It sucks. It is. GM, dumbest idea in the world to have a steering. And I had to explain to him, currently you're steering in a section like this. When you go crossover, you're steering on a section like this. So one, it's leverage, but two, it's also the angle. You're doing all your steering top to bottom like this, separated out by this. When we're finished, we're steering across this, and we're only dropping out like this. So it's a huge difference, and he just learned that, as you guys learned it, with the way the steering goes. Also, having that track bar does not allow the axle to move around. This one still has the sway bar, which is pretty cool. Most people take that off, but it still has ability to flex where the track bar stabilizes the axle to the frame quite a bit better. Now, let's pop the hood. Didn't have to tap the hood, so it's actually adjusted pretty good. It's a really cool looking cow hood. The truck does have cab lights, I just noticed that. Most 1-tons did. But it's a pretty well built big block Sniper fuel injection. I like the way they've done things under here. They kind of blacked it all out. I'm not real keen that the AC's not hooked up, but the guy told me that. He said, you know, there was a few things on his punch list. The AC was one of them. So we will probably finish hooking that stuff up, even though we're going into winter. This truck might go to Florida where it's hot. It does appear most of the other stuff is here. The few things that are missing, we'll have to replace with new. And then if it doesn't work properly, we'll replace all this stuff with new. But the wiring looks decent. There's some wires to clean up. There's some hoses to clean up, but looks good under the hood. She is very well appointed. You know, the finish of the paint, you know, it's not all sloppy. The underside here needs the felt, with the felt on it. They painted just enough to make that look good, so we'll be probably putting the felt on it today. This truck can be sold. So to answer the question in the comments, I'm not putting a price on it currently, other than a ballpark. If you're ready to buy this truck, the way it sits with zero extra money spent other than the felt under the hood, you know, and a couple small little tweaks that I've already got laying in the shop for my guy to do today, probably gonna be around $85,000. If it goes to a finish level, it's probably gonna be a six-figure truck like most every crew cab square body is. Where in the six figures, I don't know, but it just depends. Crossover steering, track bar, power steps. The list is endless. The stuff's not free. So, and as you guys know and seen, if you follow us, pretty much every square body that has been sold recently has made its way up to Daniel and Brian at the off-road shop because they want the steering, they want the track bar, they want the steps, they want more finishing touches. That is not a problem. Like going to a restaurant and wanting to see what's all for dessert. We got the whole menu. So, onto this truck, which is more ready to go in my opinion. Now again, some of the things I'm gonna be looking at walking with you guys, I'm seeing for the first time, because again, Christian got ahead of himself getting this video done. And you're gonna see the big tires in the back. I don't have a plan for those yet. Obviously, I love them. They look cool. They're custom cut. They're about 44 inches tall. They're super, you know, probably 25 inches wide, and they're on a real custom steel wheel. If anybody's building some kind of like mini monster truck, mega truck thing, we don't have a use currently. I want Brian and Daniel to look at them, see if they can figure out what we can use them for. But if you have a need, they may be for sale. This is an 84 or 85. One's an 84, one's an 85. Clean titles to both trucks also. Weld Typhoon wheels. Real deal, 14 wide, weld wheels, 3/4 ton truck, even though it started life obviously as a 1/2 ton. It is a 3/4 ton currently. 8 lug, also has a cow hood. Paint finish is decent on this truck, not bad at all. Got a couple little imperfections and blemishes. Dual exhaust, 38-inch boggers, and about 8 inches of lift on this truck, all spring. Yep, also has disc brake conversion, sliding rear window, spray and bed liner, a bed cover, a nice gray interior, not bad. GT steering wheel. I'll fire it up real quick just so y'all guys can hear it. Very well built small block, as you can hear. Got a nice cam. Solid short bed truck, 4-wheel drive. Drive shafts are in both trucks. You know we don't do Bluetooth stuff around here. Billet grill, upgraded LED style lights. Just another cool truck. This one will be on the web probably today if we get the tires unloaded, if we get a chance to shake it down in the shop. Once again, I just want to know exactly what we're working with. Can be changed up. You want 1 tons, no problem. You want something different, no problem. I don't know who would not want those tires and wheels. Maybe not the tires, but the wheels, because obviously you don't get 14 wide welds every day. They're true virgin welds, and they don't look like they've even been hardly polished, so they have a great virgin finish. Power steps are easy, no problem. Do the steering, do the track bar, do whatever else you want, but you don't have to. This one actually turns a little bit better, probably because of the short bed and a little bit less tire on the ground. But both good trucks, thumbs up, very decent to arrive in this condition. This one obviously just needs, you know, that next level touch because of the fact it's a crew cab and there are no crew cabs. And to that, most of you guys are pretty bright about understanding, but there was only, and I Googled it one time, so I'm going off what Google says, but crew cab square body trucks, there was only 7 to 10% of them were made in crew cab compared to regular cab. That's a small number. It's a very small fraction. So we're already starting off with a lot less of these trucks available. After the fact of that, most of these were crew trucks, concrete companies, construction companies. Who else needed a crew cab back then? You didn't carry your family in it, you carried it in a station wagon. So most all crew cab trucks had a demise of life in a construction field somewhere. So they were beat to death. So there's very, very, very few of them left. So people are like, why are crew cabs so expensive? It's because there are none. Like for us to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think currently, is unheard of. You know, it's just, you know, beyond me, and not to mention Brian and Daniel have a few personal ones. So it is kind of crazy how rare a crew cab is, but it also is what drives the price up. There's only a couple crew cabs on the market other than ours. We watch all the time. The only one I can say compares closely to, say, the blue one or one of the two that's in the paint shop, it's $180,000. So, you know, and I think they might have reduced it to 170, but it's up there. But that's the only one I've seen that compares, and it doesn't have some of the upgrades that we do to our trucks. So, again, that truck right now might seem like a shockingly big number, but it's at the best price point you could probably find for what it is. And the little finishing touches that we're going to do are going to go a long way. And again, customer was very straight up. He said it does need some finishing touches. Obviously, he didn't know our finishing touch level compared to what most are, but doors closed, interior aside, the outside of that truck, I mean, it's a show-worthy truck. It really is. It does have rock lights and ring lights in the wheels. I know that's not for everybody, and I know these wheels aren't for everybody, but I think it's tasteful. I think the polished, the chrome, the stainless, the stripe, and then, of course, the interior, I think it goes together pretty well. And I'm going to turn these lights on for those that may have never seen that. It's kind of neat. Of course, they look kind of dumb looking at them the way Christian's showing it. I don't know why he's doing that, but they look really good looking through the wheel, because at night it makes the whole wheel kind of glow. And you can make them change colors. You can make them run laps. You can do whatever you want to do. You can make them purple. You can make them blue. But the red's pretty tasteful. And again, not a big fan of those. We don't even do a whole lot of them in the shop unless somebody's doing a big build, and Daniel's patient enough to do that for them. But they do take some effort, and they do cost some money, and that's a good brand and style. So truck's got cool touches. It really does. And it's a nice 3+3. And who knows? We might bolt the monster truck tires on it. So, but for you asking, currently, you always ask about ones that aren't posted. Purple truck, you know the deal. You know, we're going to change the bumper. We're going to do a few things. Watch the previous video. The Fall Guy truck is still available. Couple Suburbans. Other than that, we don't have really much. The green and white truck, I'm shocked nobody's bought that truck. We just did a fresh video, and it may be because you guys haven't seen the fresh video. It's kind of hidden. The fresh video is up. Door panels are done. All the little finishing touches are done. The proper grill is in it now. And that is a good driving square body truck. So hope you guys learn a bit from us. As I've said before, I've got to mix sales with education with cool content. Unfortunately, we are a dealership. We got to sell trucks. We can't just collect them, but you know, it's a labor of love. It's a hobby of love. Both of these square bodies I was very excited to get this morning. And the one little treasure out there, I'm going to let Christian go for a ride in it first, because it's a rocket ship. And then I'll let him report back on that one. So that's going to be a pretty cool one as well. Did we fire the... We didn't fire the crew cab up. Let's fire the crew cab up. Just so you guys can hear that one before we leave. And again, I hope this is the video that makes it hit 100,000. I wish the other dozen square bodies could be in here at the same time. That would be pretty cool. Got a pretty nice chop to it also for a big block. So there we go, guys. Try to have the short bid up on the web shortly. I gotta look at some pricing, figure out shipping and all what we spent. And then this one here, you kind of know where we're at if you're interested. And green square bodies on the web, davisautosales.com, davis4x4.com, and the long lost Fall Guy truck, which I'm okay continuing to drive. And we might drive that today. Me and Christian do have to go check on the body and paint work, which is coming along very well on the crew cab long bid, big block project frame off restoration. So we may drive that one once again to go check on it. So stay tuned, guys. Appreciate your support. Thanks for everything.